You've worked out that your hair is not straight, nor is it curly, it's wavy. So you Google beginner wavy hair care and you're confronted with routines that require 20 different products and take 2 to 3 hours to complete. You come across terms like no poo,
What does that mean?
co-wash, and SOTC, WTF. You're confused, overwhelmed, and probably frustrated. I know that I was. If you want to know what products you actually need to take care of your wavy hair, this video is for you. Honestly, I found that wavy hair care gets lumped in with curly hair, and you don't realise that when you're first starting out, or at least I know I didn't. In my humble opinion, you do not need all those strict rules or all of those products. You can start simple, save yourself a lot of time and money, and still get really great results. We'll strip it right back to basics, so we're talking wash, condition, style. And then if you want to stick around, I do have some optional extras at the end, which will just help tailor your routine for your wavy hair needs. I'll share some of my favourite products, things that give you really good results, the hair types and characteristics that I think they're best for, and any tips I might have on how to apply them. We're aiming to get you the best possible results in the quickest and simplest way. By the end of the video, you should know exactly what is essential, what's optional, and how to get the most out of your gorgeous waves without overbuying. I mean, you can still overbuy if you want to. I know I do. Okay, let's get into it. The essentials, the wash routine. Straight away, you have a decision to make. Are you going to use a sulfate-free shampoo? And how you answer this question is going to determine if you need 1 or 2 shampoos on your bathroom shelf. Sulfates are very effective cleansing agents. They are, however, sometimes also seen as stripping and drying. That can be true, but it's not quite as black and white as that, I don't think, because how a product is formulated has a big impact on how the sulfates react with your scalp and hair. The ultimate job of a shampoo is to cleanse. Choose sulfates, you just need 1 shampoo. Choose to go sulfate free, and you will also want to buy yourself a clarifying, or sometimes known as a detox shampoo. First up, the everyday shampoo. And obviously, I don't mean you're going to use it every day. I just mean the one that you reach for the most. Although brands market and package their shampoos as being volumizing, hydrating, and possibly even sometimes repairing, ultimately their job is cleansing. I would ask yourself, does this shampoo leave my hair feeling really squeaky clean without it feeling overly stripped or dry? If the answer is yes, then that is probably a good shampoo for your hair. Some of my personal favourites, so these are really the ones that I buy on repeat. Sulfate free would be Purology Hydrate. Beautiful formula which lathers up really well in your hair, leaves your hair feeling really nice and clean but not stripped in any way. Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate, the one in the silver package. If you have colour treated or damaged hair, this will be an amazing option for you, really good. Rhyme and Reason's Wave Revival, so gentle but so effective at cleansing. Really, honestly, just does not strip your hair at all. I really like that range. And then finally, it's kind of more of a brand rather than a specific shampoo, but I do think that OGX is brilliant. The range is so inclusive and extensive. I feel like you're bound to find a good shampoo for you. Everything is unfortunately a little bit of trial and error, but I always feel like if you have some personal recommendations, it gives you a good starting point. Okay, ones containing sulfates. This is actually much more difficult, but the 2 that I can recommend to you are Dove Bond Strength, and then also L'Oreal Professional Range Absolute Repair. I also thought if you're starting out on your journey, it might be helpful just to get a couple of really simple tips for application of each product. So with shampoo, you really want to focus on your scalp and roots. And to do this, I find almost like lifting my hair up in sections and then patting the shampoo onto my scalp means I get a much better distribution of the product. I then massage it in with fingertips, and if I still find it's not spreading evenly, I'll sometimes just add a little bit of water. That will then help it lather up and spread and distribute throughout your scalp and hair. If you choose to go sulfate free, which I feel like most people will do, then you will want to regularly use a clarifying shampoo. This is to ensure that you cleanse your scalp and roots of all product buildup, chemicals and minerals. If you don't do this regularly, your hair can get limp and lifeless, it can become greasy more quickly, and even actually dry and frizzy. My personal favourites when it comes to clarifying shampoos at the moment, I am completely in love with Wav's Hair Detox. Perhaps not the cheapest, but the travel size version is £12 and it is lasting me months. You need so little of this stuff. But slightly more budget friendly options would be OGX, the apple cider vinegar. That is really, really good. And then Umberto Giannini's Hair Detox. Very gentle, won't strip your hair, but does a great job at getting rid of product buildup. By the way, I will link all of these products in the description box, or you can just visit my Amazon storefront. I do now have a UK version and a US version, so I really hope that you can find the products that I'm talking about. Conditioner. Because of the natural texture, the bends and the curls, the twists of wavy hair, the cuticle layer does not sit quite as uniformly or as aligned as it does in straight hair. This means that it is more prone to frizz, but also it's more difficult for our hair to retain moisture. And that is why a conditioner is an essential product in your routine. But it is definitely a balancing act. Because if you go too rich, thick and buttery with your conditioner, you could end up with lifeless, limp, greasy hair that is much harder to style. Personally, I found a good hack to get the level of moisture and condition that I need into my hair without weighing it down is to replace a typical conditioner with a hair mask, but just use it in the same way. So pop it on in the shower, clip my hair up, leave it in for a couple of minutes and then fully rinse. You don't necessarily have to use a mask for 20, 30, 40 minutes or whatever the packaging says. If your hair is fine, opt for lightweight, milky formulas. Something that's very runny is going to be a much safer bet. Avoid thick, buttery or oily textures. If your hair's colour treated or damaged, look for protein within a conditioner. And for dry wavy hair that really needs a bit of extra protection, look out for the ingredient amodimethicone. It's a silicone and it is amazing for smoothing frizz without weighing down hair. A few of my personal favourites, well, we're back to the Purology Hydrate range. That conditioner is one of my all-time favourites. If you can get hold of it, Aldi Soy Protein Conditioner gives my wavy hair that lovely wet seaweed texture. Sadly, I am finding it's harder and harder to get hold of, so a good alternative would be the OGX Brazilian Keratin Conditioner, Jaya's Goat's Milk Hair Mask for a protein conditioner. It's called a hair mask, but actually I use this as a conditioner most of the time. Dove Bond Strength Conditioner, I really love that one. Gives my hair beautiful smoothness, shine and bounce. And then finally, for days where my hair just feels a little bit on the dry side, a bit more frazzled, or if I've perhaps just had my colour done recently, I opt for Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate. I really love that range for colour treated hair. Application tip, I would concentrate on your mid-lengths and ends first, because that's where your hair's going to need it the most. Then with any residue left on my hands, I still also apply conditioner to the roots of my hair. That's particularly important if you've got colour treated hair or if you suffer with halo frizz. And also one last thing, if you have fine hair, always fully rinse your conditioner. I know there are lots of tips saying that you can leave some behind for lovely hydrating qualities, but actually fine hair, it's just going to get weighed down. Fully rinse, always. Next up, let's talk leave-ins. These will be a game changer for your wavy hair. I honestly believe that wavy hair needs a leave-in conditioner. The way that Ernie needs Bert, Miss Piggy needs Kermit, wavy hair needs a leave-in conditioner. That was a very strange puppet-based comparison. I don't know what that was about. They come in loads of different textures, from lightweight sprays, gel-like serums or creamy creams. Anyway, no matter what texture you opt for, they all serve the same purpose. They're going to help you hydrate your hair, make it easier to detangle, smooth away frizz, add shine, and also protect your hair. That's a pretty powerful list of benefits, so it kind of makes sense not to skip this step. I feel like a good leave-in conditioner will just set you up for good hair days. First up, Olaplex number 5, Moisturise and Mend. A creamy texture, but very lightweight, so still a good option if you do have fine hair. Honestly, I feel like it's repairing, protecting, hydrating, adding shine, fighting frizz. Yeah, it's pretty good. Next is Wave's leave-in conditioner. This one is a spray, but does still have a richness even though it's lightweight. It really helps to add moisture and slip to hair, making it a really good option for detangling. It also smells really nice. If you're after a leave-in conditioner with protein, Not Your Mother's Curl Talk is a great option. Very light spray, almost more of a mist really. Very smoothing and ultra hydrating. And finally, Bumble and Bumble's Invisible Oil. It's got a beautifully lightweight but slightly oily texture to it. It adds next level shine, protects from heat and UV, adds lovely slip which makes it great for detangling. Honestly, it's amazing. Quick application tip, make sure you are applying leave-in conditioner to soaking wet hair. If your hair's dried out in any area, you can just re-wet it, and the easiest way to do that is with a continuous spray bottle. We're on to our final essential step already, a styling product. Since the objective of this video is to keep things as simple as possible, I would definitely opt for a one and done styler. So forget all those routines that you've seen, layering curl creams, foams, mousses, gels, more curl cream. All you want is one styling product, and that is it. One of the reasons being is that the less you touch your hair, so the less you apply multiple layers of product, the less likely you are to cause frizz. It will also save you time and money, so yeah, win-win. And honestly, I think some of my best hair days are usually thanks to a single styling product. Here are my heroes. Evo's Liquid Rollers Curl Balm. It does everything. It tames frizz, it adds a little bit of hold, it creates some lovely definition for your waves without them getting weighed down or sticky. You will not feel any product residue whatsoever. I also really like that you can use it on dry hair almost as a pomade. So I put a tiny bit between my fingertips and it will just help me smooth or tame any flyaways or frizz. All gone. Amazing. Olaplex number 6 Bond Smoother. It adds lovely shine, makes hair feel strong and healthy, and does also have a light hold. It has this gorgeous, rich, creamy texture that does not make my hair sticky or heavy in any way. I also love Bumble and Bumble's Don't Blow It. And I particularly like the fact that they have two versions, one for fine hair and one for coarse hair, which I think is great that you can pick what is going to be most suitable for your hair texture. The fine hair texture is a cream gel-like hybrid. It's very light. Again, it's not sticky, but it does give a good amount of hold. Very, very easy to use. I feel like it's a foolproof one. And then the other one, if you do like something with a little bit more hold, you will probably really like JVN's Air Dry Cream. That has, I would say, more of a gel-like texture than a cream texture, and it definitely does create a little bit more hold, but not so strong that you would need to break a cast. Since I've mentioned the word cast, I am just going to say that one of the other reasons that I don't recommend layering mousses and gels and so on as a beginner is I actually think that breaking a mousse or gel cast, one, I think it can create frizz. I have definitely found that through experience. And second, and I don't know this for sure, I have no scientific evidence to back this up, just an opinion. I feel like it's slightly damaging sometimes to my hair. I have to clap and shake and scrunch away that product, and my hair definitely gets frizzier, but I also think it's probably not that great for my fragile hair. Anyway, as I said, just an opinion, but I wanted to share it with you, and I would love to hear what you think about that. Easy application method, I would choose to glaze your one single styler over your hair. That way, if you've got any frizz or flyaways left, you're going to tame those, and it also gives a really good even spread of the product over your hair. And that is the 3 essential steps complete. Wash, condition, style. You could absolutely leave it there. Stop watching, go and have a look at your products and start to build your routine. However, if you're not feeling overwhelmed and would like a few options to take your hair routine to the next level, stick with me because I've got a few extras. These optionals include treatment products, so things like deep conditioners, protein treatments, then bond repair, and finally oils. The first product I would look to introduce to level up from your essentials routine are treatment products. Deep conditioning masks, protein treatments, they can make a huge difference on manageability, softness, frizz, and just generally make your hair look and feel so much better. If you want to build this step into your routine, I would recommend doing it after shampooing. If you have fine hair, I would actually replace your conditioner with a treatment product. So you're not conditioning and then doing a treatment. It can just be a bit too much for fine hair. If I'm opting for a protein-based product, some of my favourites would be Evo's Main Attention, Jaya's Goat's Milk Hair Mask, Briogeo Don't Despair Repair, and then a really good budget-friendly one is Eliza Vecca's Collagen Coating Treatment. For very deeply conditioning or hydrating masks, I love Dr. Anove Deep Damage Repair, Shiseido's Tsubaki Premium Repair Hair Mask. A rich but light creamy texture that just leaves your hair incredibly soft. And then finally, one that is much newer to me but is very budget friendly is the Aussie Deep Hydration Mask. Again, I will link all of these in the description box. Now, let's talk bond repair. If your hair is damaged, no matter what caused it, you will definitely want to build in a bond repair product to your hair routine. They can be added in either pre or post shampoo, depending on the product that you're using. I plan to create a much deeper dive video about bond repair. If that sounds helpful, please let me know because that helps me prioritize which videos to make next. Okay, my favorite bond repairs. K18. If your hair is severely damaged, like mine was a couple of years ago, I definitely think this is worth the price tag. It is very transformative and you see results very quickly. Olaplex number 3, it's the original bond repair product and in my humble opinion, still one of the best out there. A newer but firm favourite of mine is the very transformative Ypres. If you would like to know more about it, I'll link my first impressions video above. And then finally, Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate. I've mentioned this range many times already. Fantastic for colour treated hair. The final optional, but very impactful product to level up your essentials routine would be a hair oil. The reason that oils can be so great for wavy hair is they help to lock in all the conditioning, moisturising ingredients that you've used throughout your routine. I really love how flexible oils are to use as well. There are lots of options as where you build them into your routine. You could actually use them straight after your leave-in conditioner, lock all of those hydrating qualities straight into the hair, or you could use them on dry hair once you've completely styled, just to kind of tame away any frizz or flyaways. You can use them at any point, like on day 2, day 3, to add a little bit more shine. I also love to use them to add a little bit of slip before I'm going to brush my hair. Honestly, there are loads of different ways you can use oil. In fact, maybe that's a whole nother video I need to make as well. Let me know what you think. A few of my favourites, I tend to use either a lightweight or a kind of medium weight oil. So in the lightweight category, Olaplex number 7, that's been a firm favourite for a very long time. A new favourite is the hair oil from Wavy and also Jaya's hair oil mist. This is a particularly great one if you have hair that tends to be on the oilier or greasy side. Very, very lightweight and also particularly good to use before heatless methods. If I feel like I need something a little bit richer in texture, then I would opt for Eliza Vecca's Hair Muscle Oil. This has a really lovely, very smoothing quality. I just have to be a little bit careful about not applying too much. Another firm favourite in this category would be L'Oreal's Extraordinary Oil. And then finally, another more recent discovery, and it's CosRx, their 132 peptide oil. This one has a particularly lovely finish. It doesn't probably add quite as much shine, but I definitely feel like it makes my hair feel very, very soft. You honestly don't need tons and tons of product to get great results. Technique is so much more important than the product that you apply. Make sure you've got your essentials right first and then start to build in those optional parts to your routine. And honestly, you will definitely get more good hair days that way. If you do need a very simple technique to tackle frizz and leave you with soft hair, then you may enjoy this video next. Thank you as always for watching. Have a lovely day. Take care. I will see you in the next video. Bye.